Hey, it's David. Welcome back to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get in the best spiritual shape of their lives, one workout at a time. Quick thought in this video that I'm calling I Was a Refugee for a Day. Well, there's a story behind that one, right? Well, I live in Tennessee, and in Middle Tennessee, a storm system blew through our region and many other states as well. But the brunt of what we got was just torrential rain and straight line winds. And this happened 48 hours ago. So much rain, in fact, that it flooded the place that I was living. And so my roommate had went to work about 4 a.m. that morning. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon. My landlord calls and says, "Hey, David, I'm sending the Rutherford County Rescue Squad to check on you." Well, the storm had passed. We made it through the night fine, no damage to our place where we were living. Sun was shining, birds were chirping, spring smells and everything in Tennessee. I'm thinking, wow, okay, sure, let them come. Well, these three rescue squad members come up and said, "Hey, we need to evacuate you because the river is rising. It's about ultimately it was about 4 feet from where I was and the place I'm staying." And they said, "We need to go. We've evacuated everybody in the neighborhood but you." So I got my cane and walked out to the end of the driveway, turned right on the street, walked about 100 feet, and bam, there's a boat, a boat right there on the road. And they put a life jacket on me, put me in the boat, and we motored about a half a mile to the next road. And they said it was 10 feet deep in some spots. Can you imagine? And so my kind landlord put me in his Jeep, ran me over to my gym. I stayed there for 5 hours until a friend came and picked me up. We went to dinner. Then he dropped me off at my dad's, and I spent the night with my father and his wife. So, and I was able to return the next day after the water had receded sufficiently that it was the road was passable again to get back to the place that we live. So, wow. So, in a sense, I was, just displaced. It wasn't very inconvenient for me, but I was thinking about that. I was meditating on that. What can I learn from that? I just got three takeaways I'd like to submit to you as you get into your day. The first thing is you just never know. We never know what a day will hold. We never know what a day will bring, right? I mean, it can be a day like any other day, and yet, man, something happens. A fender bender. You slip and fall. Now you're in the emergency room, and bam, there's 4 hours. You get a phone call, and all of a sudden everything pivots. You've got a loved one in crisis, and so things necessarily shut down, and you have to go a different direction. So, point number one is we just never know what a day will bring. Point number two is I've noticed that God's provision seems to typically come through people. These wonderful emergency responders. I love our first responders, don't you? Our firefighters, our police officers, our EMS, our rescue squads. God bless them. They've been working since 2 a.m. of that morning, helping people, evacuating persons from their homes, their pets, saving lives and things like that. So, but God typically works through people. My landlord taking me to the gym, my friend taking me to dinner, my dad and his wife putting me up for the night and then bringing me back, and on and on. And the third thing is my encouragement is to be alert during the disruption. Okay, since we're out of our rhythm, we're out of our zone, we're out of our ritual, be alert. Okay, Lord, who am I going to see that I wouldn't ordinarily see or meet since I'm not where I'm supposed to be at this time? And so I was alert. I was just kind of watchful and mindful of what's going on. And, I was 5 hours at the gym. Well, I happened to meet a lady that I I was friends with for years and years and years, and we talked and caught up, and she prayed for me, you know? It's like, praise the Lord. That's awesome. Um, and it just, we just never know, where we're going to be and who we're going to be with that we hadn't planned on being there. So we need to be alert to what the Lord's saying, who He's going to bring into our path, who we can add value to, and all that kind of stuff. So just a few simple takeaways from a single day as a refugee, and I put that in air quotes because, gosh, I wasn't suffering. I had a roof over my head and bed underneath me and had good food in my belly and all that kind of stuff. And, it was fine. Where there are refugees that are in, their homes are destroyed because of tornadoes and earthquakes and floods and all kinds of natural disasters, right? And they're in perhaps a different country than we are, and they're in much worse shape in some countries than they are in the USA because of our excellent infrastructure and our emergency crews and equipment and people and all of that. Uh, so, you know, it's a non-issue as far as, you know, suffering or anything. But for many, it's not. They're refugees for days, weeks, months, maybe longer. And so my heart goes out to anyone that has to leave their home. So think about that as you go into your day, into your work week, into your rhythms and routines, that you never know what a day's going to bring. But if something does shift, that God will typically provide through people. And then just be alert, be watchful, be discerning and aware and mindful of what God may be saying or doing in your life in that remarkable situation. Okay? Well, I hope that provokes you to some thought. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you. I'm never against you. Take care. Bye bye. Be safe.